4.
The
Go on. Hey! Hey!
The Newfoundland outsider typically shares calm, northern adventures such as fishing, hunting, and exploring vast, snowy landscapes. But in this video, what starts as a normal moment out in the wild suddenly becomes a lot more risky. It's a reminder that even animals people don't usually think of as predators can still be seriously dangerous because, apparently, nature likes to keep humans humble.
So there's a moose on the pass here. Looks like he's got his right hind leg hurt. Little 4-point bull. Hey buddy, we're just trying to get past. Oh, I feel sorry for him. He's got a long winter yet. Move off to the path a bit so I can get by. Poor thing. Although he looks fat.
While making his way through a snowy pass, the man suddenly spots a young bull moose blocking the trail ahead. The moose has an obvious injury to one of its back legs, but it doesn't seem aggressive at first. It just stands there quietly, making the situation feel manageable. That peaceful little illusion naturally doesn't last long.
Went about 50 yards and then stopped. Gotta get to the cabin, get the fire going, get my clothes dried up, and offload all this gear. Go on! Hurry up! Go on, I gotta get down to the cabin. Go on! Hey! Hey! Oh, knock my thing out.
As the moose lifts its head and begins stepping toward him, it's clear the situation is getting dangerous. Within moments, things go sideways, because apparently, even a quiet standoff in the snow needs a plot twist. The moose lashes out with a strong kick, smashing the snowmobile's windshield. If the man had reacted even a little slower, it could have ended much worse. The injury may have made the animal more stressed, turning a tense pause into a sudden attack. Luckily, the encounter stops there, and the man can leave without any further harm. The video is from Broken Capital, a UK paranormal investigation channel known for solo, risky explorations in haunted outdoor places. On January 7th, 2023, the investigator goes alone into ancient woodland near a locally infamous haunted mile in the United Kingdom. As it gets dark, the forest feels quiet, thick, and uneasy. He crosses a small stream, heads deeper into the woods, and begins setting up his gear. Almost immediately, loud bangs and rustling come from nearby, close enough to make him concerned before the investigation really starts.
For things. Whoa, that was massive. Okay, let's get a go session done.
Later, something moves in the trees. A sudden heavy sound comes from just out of sight. He reacts right away, tense and alert, showing how unpredictable the area has become.
There it is. This is hard for me. I'm not gonna lie. I love you all so much, but I had to. Cursed, hanged, okay. We're getting somewhere now. Is there anything you'd like?
He starts using his spirit communication apps, and words and names begin to appear, including Shriek, Hanged, Unspeakable, Clarence, and Marilyn. Each one makes the location feel heavier and gives the session a darker tone.
Marilyn.
Marilyn. What in the f***ing Christ was that? I was just backing up and something massive has just walked past. I heard the floor move. Well, I felt the floor move. What in the... Oh, it's just a loud plane. Yeah, nah. This, I'm getting scared now. That's crazy. What even is that? It's floating. What's that floating? Spiderweb, maybe? Weird. It's floating, whatever it is.
The forest stays unsettled. Whispers, rustling, and faint sounds continue, creating the feeling that something nearby is watching.
Pretty much when the light's on my face. I don't know. It's a bit of a mad one. The No. See you in a minute.
A sharp sound suddenly breaks out again, now much nearer than before. He quickly starts packing up, realizing things may be becoming unsafe. Soon after, a large shape or presence moves through the bushes around him. As he gets ready to go, something rushes between the trees. Whether it is wildlife or something else, it is too close and too fast to ignore. Even while backing away, he hears voices that sound like children. That is enough for him to stop the investigation and leave the woods. On October 30th, 2025, the Paranormal Discovery crew went back to the dark outskirts of Massachusetts, near Rehoboth and Fall River State Forest, inside the well-known Bridgewater Triangle. Lomar and Steve, who often look into mysteries, strange sightings, and creepy encounters, got ready for another night far off the road. They were not searching for danger, but it felt like something out there had already noticed them.
My worst thought kind of goes to finding a guy. And that's just my anxiety, I guess. Hope someone's not unalived in here. Whoa. Hello? Someone there? It's a little bit weird.
The day starts with him alone in Freetown, going back to the same spot where he heard a scream the night before, a cry that sounded clearly human. He walks the old trail again and calls out in case someone needs help, but the forest gives him nothing back. There is no sound or movement, only the uneasy memory still hanging around. Whatever was deeper in the woods felt like it had a purpose, almost like it knew he would return. Later, he meets Steve, and they drive toward Rehoboth.
I think what we're gonna do is set up the tarp here and then have a nice ribeye steak. Are you hearing stuff already?
I am, yeah. This is coming
Dude,
from there.
Those are creatures.
It did sound like some sort of like something barking or growling.
Dude, it's coming from that way.
Are you sure? I think it's coming that way. Is it?
Either way, what the hell is that? Like, actually, it's kinda...
It doesn't sound like a dog.
No.
Oh, okay, now it's behind you. Dude, is it coming closer?
Oh, I think it's like... Dude.
Yo.
What?
Oh. Wait, no.
Oh, it is that way.
Dude, it sounds like it's coming from all corners. I think it sounds like it's coming from there now.
Hello?
They chose a remote spot on the western edge of the triangle. As they set up camp, the quiet suddenly breaks. They hear a short, rough growl that sounds like an animal, and it starts moving around them. It quickly shifts from one side of the camp to the other, making them freeze and listen. They never see what it is, but it stays close enough to make everything feel tense.
Or something. Why does it feel like we're being watched?
Yeah. It's everywhere. Well, you're gonna see two Filipinos tripping out pretty soon. Gotta say, it's
We're okay.
Alright, so we're gonna throw Spirit Talker on for a bit.
Whoa, my light died. My light died. Bro, I was literally charging it. That's why I brought my power bank earlier.
Is it charged right now?
No, it's been charging. While we were cooking, it was charging with my power bank.
Not sure what is following them, they turn on the Spirit Talker for answers. The device gives dark messages, gruesome, then hung, followed by the name Peter, linked to the 1950s. Before they can understand it, his fully charged flashlight suddenly shuts off. They think something unseen drained it, but the woods are not done yet.
Turn off. Okay, what just happened? Dude, there's someone at our campsite. Well, not even kidding. I saw like a shadow move. Are you serious? I think it's by the table. What the fuck? Let's buy some rain trucks on me, but probably somewhere. Oh my god. See it right here. You can see it from here.
You see him?
Oh.
Oh my god, my nerves are shot.
Just went inside the tent.
He went inside?
He went inside the tent.
No way.
I swear.
What the fuck?
I was the bag, and the shadow literally passed it.
Dude, what?
Let's just get a little bit closer.
Okay. Oh my god, guys. We might actually be messed up now. Fuck.
What should we do?
Dude, I don't know. I think we gotta wait. Or at least call out or something.
Alright, let's get closer.
Oh,
Hello? We know you're in there.
we got and we're gonna use them if we need to. We have to come out. We mean no harm. We find it kind of weird that you're hanging around.
Our campsite. I literally saw you go inside a tent. I'm gonna give you the count of 10 to get out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Whoa! 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 No! Oh! Whoa! Dude, our stuff, dude! Oh, no way. No way. Come on. Oh! Dude, Steve's literally leaving right now. Oh, no way! Oh, come on! One. Oh, stop. What's going on? What's that? Someone's over there. Someone's legit. Someone's actually there. Or that was like spiritual. I don't even know at this point. But somebody. What is that? All of our stuff is legit still there. I think I actually see someone still moving over there. Oh my god.
When they return to camp, they see a dark figure beside their table. It stands still until the camera turns toward it, then slips into its shelter. They yell for it to leave, and something thrashes inside the tent before running into the darkness. They spot more movement farther away before everything goes quiet, leaving the camp in silence. Daniel Mercer runs a YouTube channel called Creepy Travels, where he films himself camping overnight in remote wilderness areas that locals often say are unsafe, abandoned, or connected to strange stories. On November 17, 2025, he went far into a quiet lakeside spot in the United States, surrounded by forests and mountains. People who live nearby say the area has gained a creepy reputation over time, but Daniel still chose to stay there alone for the night.
This is a sketchy place. There's actually 4 places that I go film because usually something is seen. It's a hard decision on this place and then that place up deep in the mountains that has witch symbols hanging all in the trees at a spot that everybody of different things. I'll do a video. I don't want to talk too much about it until I do a video with y'all. This place is out, secluded.
Daniel kept making the same kind of remote exploration and solo camping videos his channel is known for, but this place felt even more disturbing because of its history. Years earlier, a body was reportedly found near the old boat ramp, close to where Daniel planned to camp. Authorities said the person had not died naturally, and since then, many locals have been careful around the nearby woods.
I just heard like somebody's watch. That was weird. That was weird. And there goes those footsteps that you hear walking behind you. Yeah. I got chicken bumps all over me. Not goosebumps, but chicken bumps.
This gave the area a different reputation from other remote camping spots. As night fell, Daniel heard movement in the distance. At first, it sounded like leaves shifting beyond the tree line, but the noises kept repeating. He then saw what looked like eyes reflecting in the woods. Something was visible in the dark, but it was too far for the camera to show clearly. The more he listened, the more it seemed like something was circling the area.
I've seen so many things in here. So big of an uneasy feeling. So many shadow bastards. I've had to run out of here before. I don't want to do this. Can't believe I'm going to sleep here tonight again. It just has that feeling that you're going to turn around and something's going to be there. Look at this. 1832.
As Daniel went deeper into the forest, he felt more like he was being watched. Instead of sleeping in a tent, he stayed inside his vehicle for protection. But later, what happened around the car made him question if he was safe at all.
Somebody was trying to get him a Bronco.
As Daniel slept inside his car, he heard movement outside. Then several knocks came from around the campsite. Soon after, the vehicle started shaking hard, waking him up as something seemed to pull at one of the doors. He grabbed his camera and went outside, but the clearing was empty. There were no footprints, lights, or signs that anything had been there. The night became quiet again, but Daniel still felt uneasy. The knocking and shaking stayed with him, making him wonder what could have happened if he had slept in a tent instead. The video comes from Adventure Life 613, a solo outdoor channel about car camping, rooftop tents, and off-grid nights. On November 5th, 2022, in a rural wilderness area in Canada, the camper set up for the night in a rooftop tent on his vehicle. As it got dark, he prepared for the cold by organizing his sleeping area, adding insulation, and using hot water bottles. Inside the tent, he showed simple cold weather camping tips while keeping things calm. The area stayed quiet with no clear signs of wildlife nearby.
You guys hear that? Can you hear that? I don't know if you're gonna pick that up on the camera. Can you hear that? That's the coyotes. Can you hear that? I've mentioned that before.
The howls became louder and more frequent. He listened closely and realized the coyotes were very near, moving through the field behind him, likely staying together as a group.
Pick that up on the camera. Anyways, okay, let's get back to sleeping alone with a pack of coyotes. Well, at least we're up the ladder. All right, I'm gonna put one of them down at the foot end of the sleeping bag. That's just gonna preheat it right now. I'll let it sit there and do its thing. The second one, I'll make sure these are nice and snug. I'll put that somewhere about the middle and I can get rid of my puffy coat.
because I'm not really cold at the moment, and I'm just gonna get right into the sleeping bag. Oh, look at that. Now, one water bottle is down at my feet, and let me tell you, as soon as I put my feet into the sleeping bag, wow. And with these dry new alpaca socks, we'll see how those do through the night. Once I get this zipped up fully,
He says out loud that he is alone at night with coyotes nearby. He stays calm, but remains inside the rooftop tent, avoiding sudden movement. Nothing more happens, but the coyotes make the night feel tense for a short time. He stays in the tent, trusts the raised setup, and continues his routine before going to sleep. By morning, everything is quiet again, and he confirms the night passed safely, with only wildlife sounds breaking the silence. The video comes from Creepy Travels, a US paranormal exploration channel focused on abandoned, haunted, and remote places. On March 2nd, 2026, the investigator entered a hidden forest graveyard near a lake in the United States at night. The graveyard had recently been cleared, revealing old graves from the early 1800s to the 2000s, with dense woods still surrounding it. With a flashlight in hand, he noticed the strange atmosphere right away, especially because he had been there before.
At the graveyard, when I saw that shadow bastard that went from the ground and stood straight up 10 feet tall. Look at those eyes. Please tell me you can see those eyes. Why am I walking closer to these eyes? Only two are looking at me. Wow. What in the world is that? Yeah. Down here is where that shadow stood up 10 feet tall on one of my earlier videos.
Several glowing eyes appeared near the lake, first 4, then more. They stayed still in the dark, watching from a distance. Animal eyes can reflect brightly in low light, but the number of them and how still they were made it hard to tell what they were. He moved carefully, keeping his distance while trying to keep them in sight.
Was moving. Was that a limb that fell? See, I call it shadow. But somebody calls them picky boos or something like that. Hide behinds. Hide behinds. It was hiding behind that tree right there. And it come out beside that tree and it was on the ground. It jumped straight up about 10 foot. And I had it on video. It had the same type of eyes as those things over there. The water's right down here.
Movement started between the trees. Tall, dark shapes briefly passed through gaps in the woods before disappearing again. In the dark, it was hard to judge their size or distance, because apparently, forests enjoy being impossible. But the quick movement was enough to unsettle him, and reminded him of a past encounter in the same area.
Beside the tree, you can't see it on the camera. This light sucks. I can see it real good. It's to the tree to the right of those green lights. I know I saw something standing beside that tree. I don't know which tree it is. Something just duck back behind that tree.
More movement appeared behind several trees, with quick shapes showing for a moment before vanishing. It was hard to follow because whenever he focused on one area, something seemed to move somewhere else. This made it feel like the movement was coming from different parts of the woods, not just one spot. He grew more nervous as he tried to get a clear shot on camera.
Stuff down there at that end. But that couldn't have been a person. Tell me what you think. Was that a person? They just vanished, and they were in the lighted area when they vanished. It's like they just dissipated. They freaking just dissipated in the light. So surely y'all, the camera picked that up where y'all could see that, because that was in the lighted area. I know y'all got time.
Strange whistling echoed through the graveyard as movement appeared low to the ground, then rose into view. With the sounds, movement, echoes, and uneven terrain, it became hard to tell where anything was coming from. The encounter felt intense because several things happened close together, including glowing eyes, movement in the trees, and unclear shapes. Instead of one clear moment, it was the repeated activity that made the scene unsettling. By the time he left, the graveyard no longer felt empty, but like something was always just out of sight. The footage was uploaded to Proving Demons in July 2019. In the video, Andrew and his friends explored a tunnel network under Hull in East Yorkshire, often called the UK's Area 51. The tunnels were built in the early 1900s to carry high voltage power and other infrastructure, and the public was not meant to enter them. After being denied access through a nearby hotel, the group found an old entrance and went in anyway. They climbed down a deep shaft, followed a long passage under the river, and eventually reached an active railway area. Then they heard strange chanting and distant voices in the dark.
Leave the tunnel? Yeah. No. So you gotta go further. No. Okay, everyone watching, this is really weird, okay? It appears, it sounds like there's chanting, like weird, like demonic chanting almost. I don't know how to describe it. It's like,
I can hear one distinct voice which is deeper than the rest, and then the rest of them are like different levels of voices, but I can hear them all, and they're getting louder.
Come on. Well, guys, it looks like we're not the only sewer rats touring these tunnels tonight, so I guess we're gonna have to be a little extra careful.
What do you think that boat was? Mole people.
This place is riddled with mole people, obviously. They live underground and they,
I think, like, secret intelligence operations is a more plausible explanation than more people.
I don't know. If this is Area 51, aliens and mole people, we can go hand in hand. Let's have a look. That is a voice. No, come here. Turn off the light. Come on. It's below us. There's people down there.
As they got closer, they realized people were below them, hidden in the dark. Since they could not see clearly, the group turned off their lights and listened as voices and metal sounds echoed up. Soon, they saw slow-moving boats passing underneath, carrying figures who stayed mostly hidden.
This is underground. That is mental.
Get back. Stay back. Get back. Just leave it. I think there might be workers, bro. I don't know what the hell that is, but there's this super long boat in these tunnels. What? You're right, there are voices. There's whatever that was. What the hell? That is so freaking cool. Oh my god.
At first, they thought the people might be workers, but that did not make sense. There were no uniforms, safety gear, or lights, only dark figures, quiet voices, and metal scraping against concrete. The boats kept moving in a steady line like they were following a known route under the city. Some believe it was linked to something hidden or restricted, while others think it may have been smugglers or an underground group. In the end, the footage gives no clear answer. The video is from Tansley Urban Explorers and Paranormal, a UK channel that explores abandoned and haunted locations. On August 12, 2023, Paul stayed overnight inside the Catesby Tunnel in the United Kingdom. He set up his camping gear, found a dry spot for his tent, placed cat balls and REM pod devices around him, and opened a necrophonic app. Soon after, one of the cat balls started going off.
The cat ball's going off. Oh, Jesus. Right. Didn't expect that. Okay, the cat ball is going off. Right. Okay, I just need to watch where I'm walking. I have a little bit of stuff set up here, REM pods, 2 REM pods, and 3 cat balls. So I've not brought too much. As I say, I just want to do a short visual and get my head down for night. Okay, let's have a try and put that there. Okay. Oh, it's going off again, look. Okay. Are we going to be lucky tonight? Depending on what luck means, whether we're going to get nothing.
Later, the cat ball went off again. Paul called out to a spirit named Vicky while noticing small temperature changes and distant sounds. In a tunnel, air movement can change the temperature quickly, but the repeated activity kept pulling his attention back to the same spot.
Is anybody outside my tent? Hear some banging. Oh dear. Oh, 3:17. Oh, let me have a quick look, see if there's all. So let me put my boots on, guys. Okay, it's 3:20. Oop. That's me. Oh, that's it. Definitely that one went off. Definitely that REM pod went off. But I think it was the other one. Too close. Absolutely pitch black. Oh, take my bolts off. Take my bolts off and then take some ages to get on. Oh, oh, right. Oh. Oh dear. Oh. Oh, I've got to admit, it's nice and warm in this sleeping bag. Got my top on still, just in case I have to do an emergency get out. Right, let's have a look. Okay, it's all past the 3. I'm going to try and get some more kit. And hopefully by 5 o'clock I'm out of here.
In the early morning, a REM pod near Paul's tent went off. He looked around and confirmed he was alone. These devices can react to interference, but the timing made it feel more unsettling after the earlier activity. The night stayed mostly calm, but not completely quiet. Instead of clear sightings, the strange moments came from repeated catball and REM pod triggers. Inside the Catesby Tunnel, where sound, airflow, and darkness can be confusing, even small events felt more intense. By morning, Paul left safely. The video is from Bigfoot RC, a UK channel focused on remote camping, wildlife tracking, and investigations into cryptids or big cats. On April 21st, 2024, the exploration takes place in Fernworthy Forest, United Kingdom.
I'm Dave here. It's about 12:15, 12:15 on the first night. I was asleep, but just been woken up by a roar and a scream, actually.
Overland Dave and the Trail Traders team camp deep inside Fernworthy Forest, about 2 miles from an area linked to a big cat sighting. The woods are dark and quiet, with only their small fire making noise. Earlier, they had seen a young deer with its mother, a possible sign that predators could be moving nearby.
We found that young deer dead this morning, so they need to hunt once a week for a big deer or whatever. So, yeah.
Without warning, he wakes up to a roar, followed by a scream. The sounds are nearby, too close to brush off. He remains inside the tent, listening carefully, aware that something large may be moving in the dark around him.
Before we settle down, just see if we hear anything. Wait and see if we got a reply back.
Later that night, Dave tries to get a reaction by using tree knocks. He looks around for tracks, claw marks, and signs that the ground has been disturbed. He does not see anything clearly, but the tension stays because something could still be close. There is no clear sighting, but the sounds and signs suggest something large is active in the forest. The video comes from Stray Explorer, a UK solo paranormal and wild camping channel. The creator explores remote ancient forests and historic places instead of popular tourist spots. His content mixes bushcraft with calm, real-time investigation and avoids heavy theatrics. This video was filmed on March 13, 2026, in an ancient forest in the United Kingdom.
The locals said it feels eerie. They wasn't lying. They definitely wasn't lying. Something out there. Sounded further away that time. I don't know if that light makes it worse for you to see. What the is that?
Clear knocking echoed through the trees. When he called out, the knocking seemed to answer and shifted from in front of him to behind him. This made it seem like something was moving through the forest, or that the sound was bouncing strangely through the area. The knocking continued for a while, and only stopped briefly when a passing car broke the quiet.
That was a voice. Hello? I need to steal this food.
A steady electronic beeping started echoing through the forest, sounding like a low battery alarm. Since there were no nearby buildings, he could not tell where it was coming from. Sounds can travel far at night, especially in cold air, but the repeated beeping made it hard to locate. It pulled him deeper into the dark and farther from camp.
What the hell was that? Someone out there? What the was that? I kind of want to go that way, but I want to know what that knocking is over that way.
A bright white light appeared between the trees. It rose higher, then moved sideways through the canopy. Its movement looked steady and controlled, not like dust or insects. He had trouble keeping it on camera, which made it seem like it was actively moving through the forest.
Okay.
Edge.
Edge. Edge. I'm sure it said something about William dying on... Or was it the ridge? No, I think it was on the ridge, not the edge. Although it could have been edge, I don't know. Responsibility. Ah, the fire's just kicked up.
I saw it happen.
You saw it happen? Did you see William get... Can you try and tell me what's in this forest with me? What's all the noises I've just heard? What's the...
It took a long time.
What's the knocking and what's that light? I've just seen a weird light going up and down and side to side.
Using a spirit communication device, he received responses including the name Ethan and phrases like "Ethan is here" and "overcoming fear." Since these devices use preset audio, the responses are not proof of anything, but the timing made them feel connected to the moment. The investigation quickly built from sounds into knocking, voices, strange signals, and physical sensations. It was not one clear event, but the repeated activity that made the forest feel tense. By morning, everything seemed normal again, but the experience left a strong impression. On October 16th, 2025, solo traveler Kevin Wald shared a trip he had been looking forward to at Yellowstone National Park. His channel is mostly about peaceful truck camping and scenic road adventures, the kind of stuff that makes people think living out of a vehicle is romantic instead of mostly logistics. Kevin spent the day excitedly checking out Yellowstone's well-known sights, clearly enjoying the experience. Everything seemed bright, open, and full of energy, but once night arrived, the mood of the trip started to change.
Guys, look at this spot. Absolutely beautiful out here. Gotta say, I lucked out again. I don't know, it's not perfect. We are just on the side of the road, but I don't know, it's okay, it's pretty perfect. Looks like there's plenty of places to walk too. Go check out this trail right here. And back downhill we go. No rattlesnakes, please. I don't think there's rattlesnakes here. There might be. If Alberta has rattlesnakes, then here probably does too. Check out that view. And just a short walk away, truck's like right there. See you just through the trees and down this hill. Well, I should turn on some more lights in here, eh? Maybe open a window or two. I gotta get some dinner started because I'm a little hungry. So we have two choices. Pork chop or sloppy joes. You know, I haven't had sloppy joe in a long time. Oh wow, that's a little bit of chaos up there. That's a little more chaos falling down. Okay, sloppy joes. No, I know I have one of these because I've been really saving it. I've just never seen a time that I actually wanted to have a sloppy Joe. But there is a first for everything. We might need a bigger pan. I have a lot of beef. Note to self, defrost your buns. Also note to self, I forgot to frost my buns. Or defrost my buns. They're always frosty. Just stick them like right here. That might do it. Beef's looking good. Only thing I'd say it's missing is some mushrooms. There we go. Oh. Okay, last time I opened this, I swear. Alright, instructions. 1 can of tomato paste. I might not have tomato paste. I have pizza sauce. Is that the same thing? Do I dare try it? No, it'll just taste like pizza. Ah! How could I have been so naive? I would have just made burgers. Well, you know what they say, when all else fails, tacos. Taco burgers to be exact. Oh, this is silly. We'll call this silly tacos. I don't even know what we're eating. Taco on a bun. The expectations are low, as always. You know, better than expected. Okay, we'll have a little fire for a short amount of time. I mean, I think this spot is just asking for it.
Kevin eventually moved away from the crowded spots and chose a quiet roadside clearing to spend the night by himself. The forest around him was completely still, with no cars, lights, or signs of anyone nearby. As he sat beside a small fire, he tried to settle in and relax, but the silence felt strangely intense, interrupted only by faint sounds coming from somewhere deeper in the trees.
I think one thing's for certain. We might get a storm out here tonight. I'm just looking at those clouds back there. Yeah, worries me a little bit. I wonder if someone put this log here for sitting. It's not a bad log for that.
Kevin went quiet and listened carefully as another call echoed out. The noises seemed to be coming from more than one direction, which is always comforting when you're alone in the woods, because apparently one mystery sound wasn't enough. He quietly questioned whether it might be coyotes, or maybe something bigger, moving and calling around him.
Did you hear that? Right when I said it was quiet. You know what they're doing, right? They spotted me, so they're letting the rest of the pack know where I am. Telling them that I'm here right now. This is probably kind of creepy, actually. Oh, it's been a long weekend. Well, actually, it's been a long week. I drove all the way from, Canada on, what was it, 1 week ago. It's been non-stop filming, non-stop, talking and everything else. I definitely feel drained right now. I'm also, I don't know. Maybe those wolf sounds were just in my head. Nothing really happened. Let this fire die down here, maybe. I will say that wood burns forever. Well, guys, after a fun night of listening to wolves and sitting by the fire, I did have a nice time by the fire and everything. It's just, it's a little creepy out there. It's okay. We all get creeped out sometimes, right? But anyways, I think that's going to be it for this one. I got nothing else for you tonight. I'm going to head off to bed.
Feeling mentally exhausted, Kevin said the isolation made every sound seem closer, louder, and harder to understand. Since he had no clear answer, he decided to be careful and quietly end the night. Most viewers think the sounds were coyotes, but calls coming from different directions can suggest awareness rather than random noise. The video is from The Journey is the Destination, a paranormal exploration channel that focuses on real-time ghost hunts in eerie places like caves and abandoned areas. On July 7th, 2024, in the United States, the investigator takes his friend Bill into a narrow cave system he had only visited once before. They move through tight, low passages, sometimes having to crouch just to keep going. The cave opens into small, dusty chambers with uneven ground and very little room. As they go deeper, the space feels more uncomfortable. He mentions that more tunnels continue beyond them, including some that drop farther down, but they avoid going too deep because of the danger.
Looks like somebody's been doing some, like, seances or rituals in here with all these candles.
Oh, really?
Look at all these things.
Yeah, there's one.
And they're all the way around here.
While trying to communicate with a flashlight and a K2 meter, they hear a faint noise from outside the chamber. It is quiet, but clear enough to make them stop. They listen closely, unsure if it is just the cave settling or something moving deeper inside.
They're brought here. The other one, like I said, I think people have died falling in it. I think back in the day, people put dead bodies in it. I've gotten responses that have suggested that, and then also there was a spot on the wall where I've gotten like really strong K2 readings, and they say that there's a portal there.
They ask questions and wait for a response, but nothing happens. The cave stays silent with only a few unexplained sounds breaking up the quiet. As they leave, a sudden storm hits. Heavy rain floods the area, making the ground slippery and difficult to cross. Their controlled exploration quickly turns into a rush to get out safely. In the end, the night shows that the biggest danger is not always inside the cave, but the environment around it. The video comes from Nat Moran, a van life and adventure creator who shares full-time travel, off-grid challenges, and remote trips. On November 4th, 2023, she arrives at a KOA campsite in East Glacier, Montana, near Glacier National Park. The area seems calm, with open views, autumn scenery, and a quiet atmosphere. She sets up camp before dark, first using tarps, and then switching to a gazelle tent.
That the other night when I thought I heard some rustling in the bushes. Turns out that a customer reported there's a bear right outside of camp. So, yeah, that's fun, especially since it's pitch black outside. That's one disadvantage to this setup. But I did order a gazelle tent, so that should be here in next week.
The bear stays nearby, moving around the fire pit and ground as if following a scent. It does not just pass through quickly. Nat remains inside and watches quietly, avoiding sudden movements that might attract attention.
Because, there's been 3 sightings yesterday. There's fresh bear scat right by my camp. And then there was a sighting down the ways. Maybe, on the other side of this campground, and then on the nature trail in the campground.
Strong wind starts hitting the tent, causing it to collapse more than once. Nat has to make quick fixes to keep the shelter standing. As the setup keeps failing, staying protected from the weather and the area around her becomes harder.
Collapsed, so it has these little pop-out things. That thing collapsed on me 3 or 4 times in the middle of the night. Freaked me out because I was like, is it a bear? Because the night before, a bear came into my camp. Anyway, so that was annoying. And I don't know. I've broke 2 of the pieces on the rainfly that connect to the tent. So I've had to jimmy rig that. So that's a bit annoying. It should not have broken. And I also received...
Nat changes her setup by moving the tent and using her vehicle as a windbreak. This helps block the wind and keeps the camp more stable. The bear stays nearby but never comes straight to the tent. By staying calm, adjusting her setup, and avoiding sudden reactions, Nat keeps the situation under control. It shows how quickly a calm camping night can become difficult. The video comes from Wandering Simon, a UK solo adventure and wild camping channel focused on remote bothy trips, bushcraft, and honest outdoor storytelling. On February 2nd, 2026, Simon trekked to Ben Alder Bothy in Scotland, one of the country's most remote bothies, about 9 miles from the nearest road. The route took him through boggy ground, past lochs, and below snow-covered mountains. Once he arrived, leaving quickly would not be easy. Inside the bothy, he collected firewood, started a fire, cooked food, and explored the shelter. The place seemed calm, but it was completely isolated, with no nearby help.
I realize someone's coming in, and a guy nonchalantly opens my door and says, "Hey, you sleeping?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just identifying as a sardine." That's what I would have liked to have said. Unfortunately, I only managed to say, "Yep," and that was the end of our conversation. So it took me quite a while to fall back asleep, because they were sweeping, they were setting up, opening doors, closing doors, and finally I fell asleep. And at past 3 in the morning, I hear the door opening again, and I just hear as if someone emptied a bucket of water onto the floor in the hallway between the rooms. And I wondered what just happened. And I just heard a guy curse, and I realized he was sick on the floor. And then
later that night, while Simon was trying to sleep, he heard the bothy door open. A stranger walked in and greeted him casually. Simon did not panic, but he became alert right away. In a remote place like this, an unexpected person can feel more unpredictable than wildlife, especially when there is no way to know who might show up.
In the hallway between the rooms, and I wondered what just happened. And I just heard a guy curse, and I realized he was sick on the floor. And then I confirmed it in the morning, he was sick on the floor. It was a couple, so they spent the next 20 minutes cleaning up the mess, and opening, closing the door, because he had to go outside, I think, to do a little more of what he just done inside the bothy. So that was a little unpleasant. So in the morning when I woke up, I just packed up and just headed out, because I didn't want to be there. I didn't really want to speak to anyone necessarily. They came in with bikes, which is interesting, because it's dark around 5 already. But yeah, that was it. The way back was wetter than yesterday. It was raining quite a bit. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, you can subscribe, you can like, and please leave me a comment saying what you think of this bothy and whether you have ever been here, whether you'd like to come here and stay, and if you want to support me even further.
After 3 a.m., the night became more disturbed. Simon heard movement inside the bothy, along with someone vomiting, walking around, and opening doors. In such a small space, every sound was impossible to ignore. What had been a quiet night now felt unpredictable. Simon left early the next morning and trekked back through rough terrain. The bothy was still remote and scenic, but the experience showed that staying in places like this does not always mean being alone, and unexpected people can change the situation fast. Uncanny Expeditions is known for quiet, moody visits to abandoned places and forgotten sites. On December 30th, 2023, the creator travels to a remote desert area near the Nevada and California border to explore the ruins of Cathedral Canyon. The site was created by Roland Wiley as a place for reflection with religious art, statues, and other structures. But after he died in 1994, it was badly damaged by neglect and vandalism.
Mr. Wiley's property is the gravesite of Kehoe, a Native American outlaw said to have been accused of 23 years, is greatly disputed. A lot of people seem to think he was just blamed for a lot of murders that were happening in the area because he was kind of an outlaw or misanthrope. All right, let's do it. I enter the canyon. I'm walking up the road right now. I can just see the entrance coming up straight ahead.
Nearby, there is a grave linked to a Native American outlaw accused of 23 sightings, though historians question the claim and suggest he may have been blamed because he was an outsider. This adds a darker tone to the location. As the explorer moves toward the canyon entrance, the isolation grows, and small figurines left by unknown visitors appear arranged in the silence.
Here we have somebody set up some like nativity scene figurines and a butterfly.
The visit shows that abandoned places can feel disturbing, not because something happens there, but because of the history and neglect left behind. The video comes from Aaron Evans, a UK outdoor creator who shares wild camping, tarp shelters, and overnight woodland trips. On January 31st, 2026, Aaron, his brother, and their dog Bailey arrive late at a remote woodland area in the UK. Rain is already falling, and daylight is fading fast. They choose a small clearing and start setting up a tarp shelter instead of a tent. Since Aaron has not used this setup before, the worsening weather makes the night more uncertain.
So, first thing I did was stick it in the ground on that part. It's quite low. I want it to be a bit more opened out. So I'm going to make it higher and attach it to this tree over here and see if that looks cooler. Oh, that is just fantastic. Cool. That's so good. I am so happy about that. That is literally, that's perfect. This needs tightening up a little bit down here, so maybe in that point. Apart from that, I'm super happy about this. Might as well get the most important thing. Oh my god, I'm buzzing! Look at that, that's so good. And then I'll just have you have my bed there, sleeping.
The weather gets worse as the rain becomes heavier and turns into hail. It hits the tarp and ground around them while the temperature drops. The storm makes the night harder and also makes it difficult to hear anything beyond their camp.
And then I'm going to set up the rest of my bed, and I'm sleeping out here. I'm probably going to put this thing down as well, just because I don't like the idea that there's a puddle forming above my head. So at least if it's in a teepee style or an A-frame style, then
Water starts collecting on top of the tarp, creating a heavy bulge above it. With the rain and cold getting worse, the night becomes more about handling the conditions than sleeping. Aaron prepares a hot water bottle to stay warm inside his sleeping bag.
Sleeping on a flat surface is until you don't. Right now, this is on a bit of an angle, and I can already feel my body rotating to the left, which means every time I doze off in the night, I'll be woken up by myself trying to correct, which will be like every 15-20 minutes. So it's just something to think about. And on that note, I'm gonna go to sleep.
It's like 3 AM and I've just spent most of the night tossing and turning. It's 7:21. I kind of slept it.
Sleep becomes hard because the ground is uneven, making Aaron slide around through the night. The cold, damp conditions keep interrupting his rest. By morning, tiredness becomes the biggest problem. The rain, cold, limited shelter, and rough ground all add up. The shelter holds, and the situation stays under control, but the night is much harder than expected. The video is from Man Dog Wild, a UK outdoor channel focused on real adventures, wild camping, survival challenges, and remote trips with their dogs. On March 8, 2025, the team travels through isolated mountain valleys in the United Kingdom as daylight starts fading. They move carefully across rough, tick-filled ground, stopping often to check the dogs, drink water, and look around. Under the cloudy sky, the valley feels closed in, and visibility keeps getting worse. As they continue, they begin noticing bones and scattered debris on the ground, changing the mood and making the place feel increasingly strange.
No, and Yeti, she's gonna go in. That day. I don't know where Yeti is. I'm gonna walk this way. Hello. 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 Anyone there?
As they move farther in, it becomes obvious that the strange signs are not limited to one spot. The activity spreads past the campsite, making it seem like the area has been used or disturbed more than they first thought.
Because when Yeti comes up to me, sits down, it's her saying, let's go. It's time to leave. It's time to leave.
Then the situation shifts when one of the dogs, DC, disappears. This is strange because she usually stays nearby. With night getting closer and the rough ground becoming harder to move through, the timing makes it more worrying.
Which makes it even stranger, right? That there's a fire, but surely an abandoned tent. Tent's messed up. Strange.
The team starts getting turned around near the damaged campsite. The torn tent and fire stay in the same place, but the surrounding area begins to feel confusing. As visibility fades, they follow their other dog, Yeti, trusting him to guide them back through the valley towards safer ground. The unsettling part is not one clear event, but the scene itself. A recently used campsite suddenly abandoned with no explanation. Along with the isolation, fading light, and DC briefly going missing, it leaves one question behind. What happened there before they arrived? The chilling video comes from Stealth Camp Sweethearts, a UA's camping channel where Michael and Ashley share stealth camps, off-grid nights, and unusual places. On March 10, 2026, they are in a remote rural area in the United States near an abandoned house.
Stealth Camp Sweethearts. Here at this old house that's falling apart, but we're going to try to camp over here behind it.
Yeah, we ain't far from the house, so we dropped our stuff off. I'm fixing to show you, and then we're going to go park our car at the house, and then we're going to walk back down here, and we're getting a late start.
Yeah.
But this is where, this is the house, and we're going to try to camp back here behind this well house or whatever. That is a well right there. We're going to try to stay right here for the night.
Yeah.
That's our view, but we're fixing to go get the car parked, so we already had one car ride by.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see you here in a little bit. Just look at that sunset. Can't breathe.
No, we did a lot of walking today.
On a full stomach.
Yeah.
Sorry if this ain't that steady, because we're walking. There's the house. Silhouette of the house.
Yeah. And a beautiful sunset.
Yeah, it was pretty. Alright, we're fixing to run for it, get in our spot, try to set up before anybody comes by. Well, we made it. Now, maybe we can get everything set up before it gets too dark.
Yeah.
Michael and Ashley reach an old damaged house and set up camp behind it. The building gives them some cover, but also makes it harder to see around them. They try to stay hidden from passing cars, using the house and darkness for cover. While setting up, they use night vision to check how visible they might be from different angles.
And went off. Because it wasn't a little light, it was a big ball of white light. And then it just shut off.
Oh, I was seeing something right there. We see actually still seeing lights and I'm hearing movement, so I'm gonna walk down the road, see if we can see anybody out in that field. Just seeing it, I can't see it though.
It's like a flashlight and then it disappears, so I don't know.
We're gonna walk down the road, see what we can see. Oh, I just saw it.
Did you just see it?
Yeah.
I saw it too. I think somebody's out in that field.
I will shine the flashlight out so I know we're there now.
I know. You finally saw it though. I'm glad you finally saw it.
I did the light like you said, it flashed and went on.
Yeah. And there's no lightning bugs or anything like that. And it's too big to even have been that.
Oh, we got dogs.
Yeah, I hear a dog.
Later that night, a bright white light appears in a nearby field, flashes a few times, then disappears. Around the same time, they hear movement in the woods. Because visibility is poor, they cannot tell where it is coming from. They go toward the road to check, but find no clear answer. With the strange light and sounds still unexplained, the camp starts to feel unsafe, so they decide to leave early. On November 19th, 2024, Heather and her friends hiked deep into Snowdonia National Park in North Wales, toward Dwlan Bathy, a small stone shelter between steep mountains and the dark waters of Llyn Dwlan.
I'm excited now that we're here.
Where's Luna? We also got Luna today to join us.
The guard dog. You excited?
There's Luna. Yep, she definitely looks excited. Oh, got everything. So as you can see, the car park where we parked's quite full. So we're a bit worried when we get there. We're going to be sharing the buffet with other people.
Or walking back. Or car camping for the night. The three of us.
When they arrived, the group was in a good mood, and their dog Luna seemed just as excited. The nearby parking area was already busy, making them wonder how many people might stay in the Bathy that night. At first, the evening felt like a normal camping trip, with food cooked over the fire, everyone warming their hands, and laughter filling the small stone shelter.
While Sophie's eating her cold burritos, I'm warming mine up in a fire. We don't eat cold food out here. I'm cooking my burrito. Time to try the burrito. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Look at the steam coming out. Oh, Luna's got it there. Can you smell the burrito, Luna? It's nice and warm.
More people slowly arrived, including students, hikers, and backpackers. Soon, the Bathy became warm and noisy, full of conversation. The fire kept burning, and for a while, the shelter felt lively and welcoming as the night went on.
That's it. Don't that look like a little goblin devil looking out the window? Well done.
Yeah, it looks like a little goblin, doesn't it?
Like if I turn the light down.
Hey,
look at that.
I don't like that.
So can you explain again what you just found out about this Buffy since we've seen that picture?
According to ChatGPT, locals say that the lake is haunted
and claim that sightings of strange lights and figures around the bothy are common.
Oh my god.
Some say these lights are will-o'-the-wisps, spirits that lure travellers to the lake's dangerous waters. So yeah, there's quite a few things.
And you guys want to go up there now? After what we just seen that picture.
Well, we were at Pendle Hill a few days ago.
Luna, literally before it happened, she was running around like being a normal dog. Now, she won't leave us. Well, look on the bright side. There is like 20 of us here. People camping outside.
The mood slowly changed as people started talking about the bothy's creepy look and local ghost stories. The stories mentioned strange lights over the lake, shadowy figures in the mist, and spirits said to lead travelers toward the water on foggy nights. What began as curiosity soon became unease. Then a pale, still face appeared at the window, staring in from the dark. The room went silent as everyone tried to understand what they were seeing. Some blamed folklore, natural causes, or the lake affecting perception, but Luna's reaction worried them most. She froze, raised her fur, and stared at the window. After that, she stayed close to the group for the rest of the night.
I don't even know how to describe it now. Interesting experience.
My comment.
Interesting experience in this buffet. Yeah, good night. Good morning. It's a beautiful morning here in the valleys in North Wales. So this is the buffet that we stayed last night. As you can see, it is surrounded by mountains and reservoirs. I highly recommend this one.
After that, the conversation faded. The fire kept crackling, the wind hit the stone walls, and whatever had been outside did not come back. By morning, the valley looked calm again in daylight. The group packed up and left, but the place felt different to them. Whether it was a trick of light, imagination, or something tied to the lake's history remains unclear. The clip comes from Dub Woobs, an Australian paranormal channel that explores reportedly haunted places through real-time investigations. The channel often uses respectful communication methods, along with EMF meters and spirit boxes to capture unexplained activity. This investigation was filmed on February 22nd, 2026 at Rockingham Cemetery in Australia.
It is Dub Woobs, and welcome back to another one of my amazing and fantastic videos. And today we are at Rockingham Cemetery. I'm going to do some ghost hunting. Now apparently there's been some pretty interesting activity here. So we're just waiting on paranormal talks, but well, let's wait for the... So, on a bit of a busy road. We haven't gone in yet because we got to do the... It's hard to explain, but we're waiting for paranormal talks. And we have Strawberry here.
That's it.
And Paranormal Talks is here, so this should be good, guys. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, so we have good friend Paranormal Talks here.
Hello.
And, oh, we've got the gear, oh, we got the camera. What's that?
It's just bugs in the trees.
I know, but what bug makes that noise?
Cicadas.
Cicadas?
Yeah.
And they're all, like, not dying.
They're all across the mountain.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's like...
I never knew that, guys.
Spirits of Rockingham Pioneer Cemetery. You may remember me. My name is Caleb. Got some new friends tonight that are here to play. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
My name's Jasmine.
I'm Cameron.
Come through.
It's got like super windy.
Yeah, good.
Almost right away, a dark shape appears behind a tree. It only shows for a moment, but it is clear enough to change the mood of the investigation.
Friendly.
We have a lot here. Now we're gonna go walk down to this patio. Is it patio?
Pergola. Gazebo.
Gazebo?
Gazebo. Fix the Santa and we've got toys, so you can pop down a couple of toys.
Still recording. If you want to put the...
I swear I just saw a shadow just like run across there. I don't know if I'm tripping, but I think I just saw a fucking shadow just like fully run across there.
A dark figure quickly passes across the cemetery grounds. It is visible for a moment, then disappears just as fast.
Show yourself. Go over here. You're a peaceful spirit. Come and join us.
And I want to say then you are not welcome to touch me or follow me home at all.
Any of us. I can't wait to watch this back. There's so many different voices coming through the spirit box. I can't get what they're saying yet. Start talking. Baby. We get baby hit every time. So the children's spirits here, we have some toys that you can come in and play with. Show that they're here. No, it can't. Okay. If we don't want the children's spirits to come and interact with us, okay. No, we're here with peace and positivity.
As the session goes on, several voices come through the equipment. Some are hard to understand, while others seem to answer directly. The activity feels steady, but not aggressive, fitting the team's calm approach. From the start, shadow figures, EMF spikes, temperature shifts, and responses suggest a presence in the cemetery. But the mood stays peaceful, with no signs of threat or escalation, only communication. By the end, it feels less like something dangerous and more like something aware, listening, and choosing to respond. The shocking video comes from Moxley's Paranormal World, a UK channel focused on real-time investigations in forests and abandoned places. On March 26, 2026, Moxley and his son set up camp in a dense forest in the United Kingdom. The ground is uneven, and the trees make it hard to see far. As it gets darker, the forest becomes quieter, making small sounds stand out more. They also mention reports of strange activity, which makes the area feel uneasy from the beginning.
Nice. Like somebody's. Whoa, what the hell was that? It was like a huge reddish flash. I keep feeling like something's behind me, you know. Outside the tent.
A sudden rustling breaks the silence, most likely from wildlife. Still, the sudden sound makes the moment tense, since even a small movement can feel louder in a quiet forest.
Peddler?
Yeah?
Did you hear people then?
Yeah, there's 2 lads, I think.
Which way did they go, do you know?
You know where you went up?
Say again?
You know the forest where you went up?
Oh yeah? I knew I heard someone.
Yeah, 2 lads, I'm pretty sure.
Startled me that though. It sounded like they were right next to us. Just literally just sat here watching this movie. Not even a movie, a TV series. This. Then just out of nowhere, I hear this talking, it's like, not Bradley getting out his tent. And it got closer and closer. Yeah, as Bradley just said, sounds like they've walked up. But where? I walked up before, when I was, well, debating going back up. Bloody hell. That's all we need, isn't it? 2 degrees now. It's getting cold. Right, very cold. I have to keep like cleaning the lens on the camera because it keeps steaming up. Right, I think what I'm going to do, carry on watching this. I think I'll go for a little bit of a walk and we'll pull some equipment out.
A loud shout or scream echoes through the forest, but they cannot tell where it comes from. At night, sounds can travel far, especially when the air is still.
Like I've heard flashing light. General. People have seen and heard. People have seen shadowy figures out here. Others have heard crying, moaning, laughing. Is there any truth behind it? And if so, is it you? And would you like to come out here and come and speak to me tonight? Been out here about 6 hours now. So it'd be great if you'd come forward, come and speak to me. Come and tell me who.
Another red light appears near the camp and flickers for a moment before disappearing. They cannot tell where it comes from, which adds to the other strange things happening around them. The lights, sounds, and movement all have possible explanations on their own, but together they create a steady feeling that something is going on near the camp. In a place with limited visibility and sounds that carry easily, that uncertainty keeps the tension going through the night. The video comes from Wandering Simon, a UK solo outdoor channel focused on remote hiking, camping, and wilderness trips. On December 12, 2024, Simon enters a dense forest near Bon Reservoir in Scotland to find a place to camp. The thick trees block the light, making the area feel darker than expected. With no clear paths or nearby activity, the forest feels isolated right away.
But I wasn't able to sustain that lifestyle. So this time I'm hoping I'll be able to introduce some small changes that I will just keep up for the rest of my life, for the foreseeable future. Like eating, let's say, sweets and things that aren't as healthy on the weekends, and trying not to do that during the week. I think it's a good step. It's a balanced way of still enjoying all the foods that I want, but in more limited way. As you know, I'm trying to do more hiking, more camping, so my bag was probably about 12 kilos today.
By night, Simon sits alone beside a small fire. The fire lights up the area around him, but everything beyond it is hidden in darkness. This makes it harder to judge distance or direction, and every sound stands out more in the silence.
Would you stay by yourself in a forest like this? Let me know in the comments below. But even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because God is with me.
Back at camp, Simon thinks about the night. The forest stays quiet, but not completely still. Small sounds keep the tension there, even though nothing clearly happens. The experience is more about the atmosphere than a direct encounter. The darkness, limited visibility, and steady background noise all make the forest feel uneasy. The video is from 401 Files, a UK channel that explores paranormal and cryptid activity through real-time investigations in remote wooded areas. On December 1st, 2025, the host enters a rural forest in the United Kingdom with their dog, Lily. They walk carefully through thick woodland, quiet open areas, and rocky banks, with only natural forest sounds like rustling leaves and distant knocks around them. Right away, the mood feels uneasy. The host keeps stopping to look around, quietly sensing that something could be close by.
Also, she needs to suck it up. I'm gonna get camp set up. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna head off into the forest somewhere, get my tarp and everything set up so we've got somewhere to take shelter should it rain, because it's been on and off all day. I know it looks clear now, but what the hell is that? 1 second, let me get the phone out because this will not zoom. I don't know what that was. It didn't have a jet stream behind it, which caught my attention. Not all planes do, obviously, but yeah, I just thought I'd film that because...
Shadows start moving in the corners of their vision. The host stays cautious, noticing that the quiet moments between the noises feel just as disturbing as the sounds. Every branch snap makes it seem like something is following them from somewhere they cannot see.
The more I do this, the more confident she's going to get, so I might give her another Swedish meatball in a second, just for being such a good girl, but this is bliss, so relaxing. There's something about just being out on the water, not having to worry about anything, other than rapids obviously, but Now, if that was not a landscape in front of me that shouts cryptids, I don't know what is. Just looking at that ahead of me there, just, you know, it screams strange sighting.
As they move through the clearings, the same pattern keeps happening. Sudden noises, short quiet pauses, then more movement. The host points out that being alone in the woods makes every sense feel sharper, causing even small sounds to feel much more intense.
And vice versa. I know that a lot of cryptid guys come over from Bigfoot channels and UFO extraterrestrial channels, but then they see me making a fire or building a shelter out in the wild, and they're like, what is this about? Why is he not talking so much about the creepy stuff? So yeah, very unique niche, I guess. And I just hope that there's people out there like myself who find both equally interesting and find the blend of the two intriguing. Like, you know, I watch channels of people getting out into these areas, especially in like the Pacific Northwest and Canada, Alaska and other parts, you know, and they're talking about Bigfoot, and I just think, what better place to have that conversation? Look at where you're at. You know, you've got this beautiful backdrop of this snow-capped mountain with miles and miles of rugged landscape and deep forested areas. You know, what a perfect blend. And I always get suckered into those channels. And so that's me, right? That's what I do.
Near the end, the forest stays restless without showing anything clearly. Faint movement, far-off sounds, and small changes around them continue until the host decides to head back. Nothing appears on camera, but the uneasy feeling stays. The night is not about one major encounter, but about the constant sense of activity around them. No figure is seen, only repeated sounds, movement, and the feeling that something remains just beyond view. A Van Called Dignity is a UK van life channel about Steve and Liz, who travel full-time in their self-built van. Their videos usually show daily van life, van upgrades, and the good and bad sides of living on the road. Most of their trips are calm, but this one turned into an unexpected encounter. In a video uploaded on July 2nd, 2025, they were driving near Team Valley toward Lobley Hill when they reached a roundabout and started climbing a steep hill. There, they saw a group of young men on electric bikes in the road. One rider did a wheelie close to the van, making Steve slow down. Worried about how close the rider was, Steve briefly honked to give a warning.
That's when they sort of looked like they were going to turn off to the right, and then basically began following us. And no word of a lie, they were hunting us down. So they would.
Moments later, the riders sped up and started chasing the van. As they followed it, some of them stopped by the roadside to pick up stones and small rocks. They then began throwing them at the van while still chasing it.
They're stopping. It's easy to look back and now and realise what they were doing. And then they were starting off and tearing up towards us. What I realise now that they were doing is they were grabbing rock stones from the side of the road and throwing them at the van. After it all finished, we realised they were throwing anything that they could find. Yeah. And eventually they got to the side window, threw a rock. As we have already explained, it shattered the window. It was pretty terrifying at the time. I'm not going to...
One rider got close to the side of the van and threw a large rock at the side window. The glass shattered and cracked across the whole pane, while Steve kept driving to get away.
Who were trying to ask me where our location was. So we're constantly moving, so we couldn't give them a solid location. Plus, I'm trying to ask Stevie where we are.
Liz called the police while Steve kept driving through heavy traffic to get away from the riders. After damaging the van, the group stopped chasing them and left the area. Steve and Liz then drove somewhere safer and spoke with police officers. Liz gave them screenshots and footage from the chase to help with the investigation. Since it became a police matter, they said they could not release the full footage. They later covered the broken window with tape, plastic, and a board while waiting for a replacement. On October 5th, 2025, a lone camper sets up on exposed cliffs as Storm Amy approaches. The video comes from Happy Little Camper, a channel focused on quiet, simple, wild camping. With almost no natural cover, the situation quickly becomes uncertain. He picks an open spot on high ground near the cliff edge with only a small group of hawthorn for cover. The area gives little protection, and strong winds move through easily. As the storm builds, he sets up his shelter while rain and heavy gusts make simple tasks harder. After securing it, he cooks in the worsening weather, with the cold and wind making it difficult. By night, the storm grows stronger, and around 1 a.m., the constant wind and sharp gusts make sleep nearly impossible. The shelter shakes as the wind drowns out everything around him. By 4 a.m., the wind becomes even stronger, pushing the camp close to failure. As the danger increases, he decides to pack up and leave before the weather gets worse. Viewers later pointed out that the real risk was not the rain, but the unstable trees above him in the strong wind. It raises the question of when pushing through stops being resilience and becomes ignoring the danger. The footage is from Off the Trail, the official second channel of Keeping It Dutch, which covers rough solo outdoor content such as stealth camping, van builds, and wildlife tracking. The video was recorded on December 16, 2025, near a remote creek area in the United States.
As soon as I come out here, they stopped barking. They were going absolutely crazy.
As a severe cold front moves in, the situation changes fast. From inside the van, he hears loud, frantic barking coming from the tree line. He quickly realizes there are several dogs nearby, turning the moment from harsh weather conditions into a possible outside threat.
Carl, get back over here, boy. Oh. Carl, you don't stand a chance out here, buddy. I'm gonna put the scuttle back. I didn't know it was going to be so windy, even though I did know there was a front coming in. You can run around for a minute, but then we got to get back in here, Carl.
The barking stays near the edge of the camp. At least 2 animals seem to remain out of sight, and he notices they move when he moves, suggesting they know where he is instead of just passing through randomly.
So here's the first picture of some dogs that found the dog food, and a couple of them have collars, but you can see they are hungry. They found the dog food, and they're just going absolutely crazy with it. And just stay tuned, because here in just a second, they're going to be going inside a trap, a couple of them at the same time. Here that one comes, right? You can see it come in, it's finding the feed. I don't know how it didn't just trigger right then, but it didn't. It finds that little can. Probably need to take them cans out.
In a closer clip, one of the dogs walks right up to the camera without hesitation. It does not avoid it and looks straight into the lens before moving away, suggesting it is used to being around people.
Is in the cage, but now they're still kind of looking around, eating whatever they can scrounge around. But right here is coming up. This is with the dog, I think, that possibly could be up here. They must, I don't know if they've seen the van or what. Carl, don't go too far. Don't go too far, buddy. Man, the wind has picked up. It is cold, cold. Yeah, Earl. It sounds like they're closer. You want back up there, don't you? That is a little taller. You should have jumped from there to there to there. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on, buddy. What do you guys think? There. There you go. All right. You ready for some muffins? You ready to cook some muffins? I already gave you a bunch of steak. So it's currently 69 in here and like 20 outside. Get out of my trash. Get out of the trash. Go lay down over there. I'll make some muffins. Let's get this over here. maybe we can get it hotter. Since I got the heater last time, I couldn't get it quite hot enough.
Later that night, the barking starts again. The wind carries the sound, but it feels closer. The dogs are still in the same area. When he tries to let Carl out again, sharp barking comes from just outside the light, and he pulls back inside. The moment builds through proximity. First presence, then return, then repeated activity in the same area. Nothing makes contact, but the pattern holds. By the end, the cold is no longer the only concern. The video is from Our Way to Rome, a US-based nomadic lifestyle channel that follows Savannah and Drew as they live and travel full-time in a converted expedition vehicle. Their content shows both the scenic side of overlanding and the practical challenges of off-grid life. This video takes place on February 20th, 2023 at a remote BLM camping area in Arizona, United States.
He pulled up on a dirt road. It was fairly rocky. It was the limit of our bus, for sure. We look over and he's on a motorcycle.
The situation starts with a detail that feels off. A man shows up at their isolated campsite on a cruiser-style motorcycle, even though the terrain doesn't seem suitable for that kind of bike. Before any interaction even happens, his arrival already feels out of place.
Me than he was to Drew, and it made me extremely uncomfortable the way that it, and it wasn't like a pocket knife. It was like a hunting knife, like an 8-inch blade on this knife. It was gigantic. And he's talking about how he needs it for protection and all this stuff, knows what to say, and he's not saying anything. And this silence just lasted forever. And I start to think to myself.
Then the situation escalates. He reaches into his jacket and takes out a large knife. He doesn't move suddenly, but the act alone changes everything. Whatever reason he has for showing it no longer matters, because the moment the knife appears, the situation becomes threatening.
In my gut that said, get this person away from you. This is not good. Something bad. In the inside of our bus, we knew he had a weapon. We were feeling pretty isolated. We just added up all of these.
Drew changes the situation without confronting him. They make a simple excuse to end the interaction and create space before it can escalate. Once the man leaves, they don't stay or second guess it. They pack up and leave immediately, even with the darkness, rough terrain, and hassle involved. That choice matters most because it removes the uncertainty completely. The video is from Fell Wanderer, a UK channel about solo wild camping, bushcraft, and hiking across the British countryside, especially in the Northumbrian hills. The channel mixes practical survival content with visits to places connected to dark local history. On April 1st, 2023, the trip starts at the ruins of Moyer House, also known as the Halfway House, in the Northumbrian hills. The site was once an 18th century stop on the Morpeth to Edinburgh route and is linked to stories of highwaymen watching travelers before robbing them. Nearby, on higher ground, there is a gibbet that was once used for public executions. The area is also connected to a local legend about a long-coated figure seen around the nearby hills. This background sets the tone early and makes the location feel like more than just an isolated camping spot.
Yeah. Blooming hell. Oh, what have I done? Blooming hell, I didn't expect that. Knew I should have tried it outside for the first time.
As night falls, the mood around the area starts to shift. Even with a road somewhere in the distance, the place feels isolated. The natural sounds fade and the atmosphere near the gibbet becomes heavier. He talks about the location and says he wants to experience something unexplained, though he is not expecting anything physical.
It's like, you know, like that. And it happened twice and it was about an hour apart, something like that. But I thought, that could be the wind, you know what I mean? And now this place is haunted, or supposed to be haunted. But I'm not going to say it was something grabbing the tent, because it could have been the wind. Yeah, I'm on the edge, I'm on top of a moor,
on the edge of the plantation, so...
Later that night, as the temperature drops, the first disturbance happens. While he is inside his sleeping bag, he feels the tent fabric being pulled sharply from the outside. The movement is quick and clear, not like steady wind or slow pressure.
Yeah, I'm on the edge, well, I'm on top of a moor, on the edge of the plantation, so if the wind does pick up, if it gusts, you know, that's what it could have been, to be honest with you. But, you know, it was just like hardly any wind. You know, the tent wasn't making any noise. It just came out of the blue, that kind of like... Only happened for about 3 seconds. Ah, it was weird, but, you know, who knows? It's bitter cold this morning. It's been here.
About an hour later, it happens again, but this time the movement is stronger. It feels short and forceful rather than random. Everything else around him stays still, which makes the timing and repetition stand out. He focuses on the difference between normal environmental noise and something that feels more direct. The moment builds through contrast, the heavy history of the place, an earlier near accident, then stillness, followed by a clear disturbance. Nothing is seen, but by the end, it feels less like the environment and more like contact. The video comes from Ricky Lee HB, a US-based solo van life channel that shows the realities of living out of a vehicle, especially urban stealth camping, and the risks that come with it. This video takes place on January 17th, 2026, in Newport Richey, Florida, United States.
It did not happen in this van. It didn't happen anytime recently. I'm just talking about a time that it happened to me. All right, so I had lived in the Tampa Bay area like a few years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, right after COVID. What the heck? What way does this go? I had accepted a job down there. I was working at Lowe's in Pennsylvania, and what the heck? Come on, man. So I had accepted a position at a different Lowe's. I was working at the one that I work at currently in Pennsylvania. Was I? Yeah.
The situation is risky before anything even happens. Sleeping in a car during a Florida summer means the windows have to stay open, not for comfort, but to handle the heat. That creates a trade-off. Staying cool means being exposed. In a high-crime area, that matters because the line between inside the vehicle and outside is no longer secure.
Pop, pop, pop. I'm like, and I scream. I'm like, ah! Like, and so he's like, oh, you're fine. Don't worry. I'm just... I have some questions for you. There was a car theft right behind you. I'm parked here, like face this way, and then the car behind me was stolen, apparently. The person who owns the car was in Planet Fitness, working out, 11 p.m., whatever, midnight, whatever time it was. And... so he's like, yeah, they got the, did you hear anything? Did you see anything? And I'm like, no, I didn't. I was asleep at that time, apparently. And so he doesn't really say that much after that. He says, you're fine to sleep here. You're good. I just needed to know if you heard anything. Experience? I'm like, so, like, my windows are cracked. So what if they came after me, and, you know...
The source turns out to be the police, but the reason makes it worse. A car has just been stolen directly behind him while he was asleep. That's the key detail. Not the knock, but the timing. He was in the same area with the same open window setup and no awareness of what was happening. His vehicle was not chosen, but it easily could have been.
I was like, what's gonna happen to me? Like, did I choose wrong? Like, I left the safety net of Pennsylvania, where all my family lives, where I grew up, to move to Florida by myself. There's no one down there that I knew except for people that worked at Lowe's. And Like, I was second guessing my life choices. Bro, you're wasting so much right now. I was second guessing my life choices. I missed Bentley. I wanted to see him. I wanted to be with him. I did end up leaving Lowe's completely. I think like a couple months later, something like that. This was like 4 or 5 years ago. I don't remember everything. And so I ended up leaving Lowe's to go work for the company that I ended up, it was the cruise line that ended up going bankrupt and me starting this channel. It was that company that I went to work for. And so I loved the job. I was a public area cleaner or whatever. I love doing it. I need like 3 more rolls, or like a fat roll of duct tape. Cause I mean, this is the biggest window. This is like the middle window or whatever. I definitely need more duct tape. And then I got this from Milo's. I worked until 9 tonight. I should have picked up a couple more rolls. I only got 2. Whatever. I need to pay attention to how far I'm leaving my...
From then on, the spot can't be trusted anymore. Even though he isn't directly harmed, the feeling of safety disappears because the danger is no longer hypothetical. It happened nearby, recently, and for real. This segment is built around closeness. There's no pursuit or confrontation, just a threat unfolding right next to him. He isn't selected, but he easily could have been. In that kind of setup, safety isn't really about being prepared. It depends on whether the danger chooses someone else. The video comes from Explore a Lot Paranormal, a UK-based paranormal investigation channel hosted by Lahi. The channel focuses on intense woodland explorations, using spirit communication tools and real-time reactions to possible activity. On April 11, 2026, they investigate a remote forest in the United Kingdom. As dusk falls, they move deeper into thick woodland, passing abandoned structures and narrow paths while visibility drops fast. Early on, they mention the Hatman legend, not as proof, but as context. From that point, it shapes how every sound and movement is understood.
I still visit my family.
That sounded like a scream.
It did sound like a scream.
You said it's a top hat man here, but it was like a scream.
Hatred.
The focus shifts directly toward the investigators. Leahy hears a noise right beside her head, followed by the device producing words like dangerous and help. She also mentions feeling something earlier, like a push or jab from behind. That marks the change because the activity no longer feels distant. It feels close to them.
What? Right. Honestly, it sounded like somebody walked next to us here. And there's no way you couldn't have heard that.
I didn't hear it.
It was like somebody walked right up next to me.
I had that next to my head.
Mate, that was loud. Are you here with us now? Mate, that was loud. That was like here.
Moxley hears slow, heavy footsteps moving toward him, close enough to feel intentional and clearly like a person walking. Lahi, even though he's nearby, doesn't hear anything, which makes the moment feel selective, as if they're sharing the same forest but not the same experience. When they whistle into the darkness, a loud bang comes back from the trees. It resembles the earlier knocks, but it's much stronger and more direct, making it feel like something is answering them rather than just random forest noise.
I heard it again. Is this the way out?
No.
I'm freaking out. I don't know the way out. Do you remember which way out it is?
Yeah.
You sure?
No. Yeah, I am. Mate, look at this tree. Oh, that's been snapped off there.
Yeah.
Whistle then.
A whistle?
Yeah. I'm going to whistle back again. I'm intrigued. So that was you that we just heard whistling. I'm going to whistle back. Can you do something? Follow my whistle.
Someone's watching.
Who's watching? This says Hat Man.
There's definitely someone walking around these woods.
You can't just walk around these woods without having a torch or something.
No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
What was that?
Who's around us? Who's watching us? When you're in an abandoned building, you're okay. Because you've got rooms, you've got doors, you've got windows.
Yeah, it's like all
It's like
security in a way.
Out here, you haven't got a clue who the hell is watching us.
That's why I'm like really just.
There's something not nice out here, and it feels like we are being watched and
Messed
something
with.
circling us.
It's just like walking around us, but to me it sounds like a person walking.
Yeah.
That's what I don't.
Like a hat man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mason.
Mason. Because I'm assuming the hat man is a person. Well, from what I've read, is a person with two legs.
Yeah.
And you can tell the difference between
Animal.
four-legged animal.
Yeah.
A light briefly moves between the trees, and soon after, something is heard running through the undergrowth toward them. This marks the biggest shift from distant sounds to something seeming close and in motion. The video builds through progression, sound, response, proximity, then movement. Nothing is clearly seen, but each moment feels closer than the last. By the end, the investigation no longer feels controlled, not because anything is proven, but because the forest feels unpredictable. The video is from Adam Soldo, an American outdoor filmmaker and van life creator who captures the mental weight of being alone, unexpected real-life situations, and the uncertainty of traveling through remote places. On November 5th, 2024, while moving through Utah, California, and Colorado, the first strange moment happens late at night on a deserted road. A silver sports car shows up behind him and stays unusually close. Adam tries changing his route several times, taking turns, side roads, and detours, but the car continues to follow. The main concern isn't just that the vehicle appears, but that it keeps matching his movements.
Helps you handle it smoothly and move on with your life. Now, this next story is the weirdest and down, and we couldn't go back the way we came up. It was just too dangerous. We were in a very green and lush riparian zone located by a river, with a lot of thick aspens and willow. After a bunch of river crossings, we found a shaded area that had a nice sitting log for lunch. And suddenly he froze. I saw him staring at something, but I didn't really think anything of it at the time because I was in my camera settings trying to adjust and also reviewing footage that I got from earlier in our trip. But when he was staring for way longer than usual, the look on his face was enough to make me wonder. He swore that he saw something big and dark moving, observing us from across the river. From the way that he describes this encounter, it sounds like it was trying to stay hidden and peering at us from behind the tree. Something that he thought that maybe could be Bigfoot, or at the very least, a tall and dark-haired figure. There was a pretty deep and fast-moving river between us and the other side.
The final shift moves away from human encounters, but the tension stays. Deep in the backcountry, his friend notices something across a river. It's clearly far away, with no obvious trail or way to reach it, yet something still appears to be there.
On the map, and there was no other trails on the other side of the river. So either it was somebody off trail, or it was something a little more mysterious than that. Yeah. Hard to say, but our imaginations definitely led us to some interesting theories as to what it was. It'd be cool to say we saw a big...
The figure moves upright and purposefully, then steps behind a single tree and never comes back out, even though there seems to be nowhere for it to disappear. There's no clear proof or footage, just the sense that something is there but unreachable. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay updated with our latest videos.